morning guys, lovely to see you all on this bright sunny day. And today I want to tell you all about what we've got on. So again, the food centre isn't open, but we've got the garden open, so Monday to Friday 9 till 12 we've got the emergency advice going on in the garden, and we're still making phone calls and we're still replying to your text messages, so keep sending in your text messages. You can text for free, keep picking up the phone when we phone you, keep doing the activity packs that we're sending out, and if you haven't got any of those things, get in touch with us and we can make sure you're on the lists for those things. And Tom's going to now inspire you with some ideas of things that you can do at home while you're keeping yourself safe. See you soon.
Thank you, Amanda. Good morning, everybody at home. And yeah, I don't know what I did wrong with the audio on that little piece when I recorded Amanda there, but there was that horrible buzzing noise in the background. Don't know what I did. I'm just going to blame the fish. The fish behind her. It was their fault, not my fault. Not bad recording on my behalf. Not at all. No way, that never happens. Right, anyway, let's jump into it. It's Friday. Good news, boys, good news. Means we've come to the end of this week's pack and we've got another one. They'll be getting stuck in a post by one of the volunteers, and they will be coming out to you, flying over to you over this weekend. Bank holiday this weekend, isn't it? So I will not be back on Monday, but I'll be back Tuesday. So you've got 3 days to get on with your postcards. So I'm expecting lots of creative ideas, lots of stuff like that. It's going to be bird week next week if you want to start practicing drawing birds and things like that. We'll go through lots of that stuff next week, but yeah, if you want to start practicing yourselves, that would be really handy. Okay. Alright, yeah, so we were on Sun Week this week, though. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We're on Sun Week this week, which means we've been drawing suns. I did a watercolour one at the very beginning of the week, and then we did felt tip solar system, and now we did yesterday, we started a pencil sun and moon drawing. We only did it in pencil, we didn't get up to the colouring section of it, but I said I was going to split it into two, didn't I? So yeah, we've got the sun and the moon, 50-50. Let's go over to my time lapse. That's the best way of doing it. Rather than me trying to physically describe it to you, I'll put it on the screen. Here we go. So yeah, all my pens and everything, I split them into two colours, well, two sides, as you can see. It's like the blues, the greens, and the purples on the left, and then it's like the pinkies, the oranges, the reds, that sort of stuff on the sun side of it. So I coloured the whole of the sun's face. I did think I was originally going to colour the whole of the moon's face, but I think it looks right there, doesn't it? Like bright white popping. So I think I'm going to just highlight the edge of the back of the moon, the dark side of the moon. That's weird, isn't it? We actually had a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon reference yesterday when we were talking about rainbows and prisms. Yeah, so straight jagged lines on the side with the sun. That's what we've gone for. And I was trying to count it, see if I've done it evenly, but because I didn't measure any of the lines or anything like that, it turns out there's a lot more. I did an extra couple of lines on the bottom half of the sun than the top half. So it gets thicker as you go up, but it looks cool. It all looks good. Might not have done so much pink if I'd gone back and done it again, but I don't dislike it. The pink and the orange works together. Pink, orange and the yellow work together well. And then I went for, for some reason I paired the brown with the sun side of things. Don't know why, I just thought brown was a bit warmer than rather than cold. So anyway, yeah, now I'm onto the moon side with all my big swooshing, soft, round edges, so more sleepy, nighttime sort of feel, isn't it? And the greens and the blues, they're more tranquil, cooler as well, definitely. We talked about colour and our perception of colour's temperature, didn't we? So we decided yesterday when we were talking about rainbows again, that blues felt cold and reds feel hot. So yeah, trying to use that in my drawings now that I know that people's perceptions are of certain colours. You can emphasise a feeling or an emotion in a drawing by using those colours. You can make it feel warmer or feel colder. Well, it's looking good now on the time lapse, isn't it? It's just went round everything with well, not everything, just the bits that I thought needed doing with a black. Emphasise the moon himself, do the big smiley face, get some big old eyelashes on there so you can tell her blinking. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So how long have we got left in this due time on this? It did take me a while colouring this one, but I like it. It's plenty of detail. And I say take a while. When most of these postcards that I do, I only spend, I'd say, 15 minutes, 20 minutes on them, something like that, because they're not huge, are they? Oh, throwing it around here. So they're not exactly huge, are they? So yeah, you can do these fairly quickly. It's really good fun. I was going to say it's time consuming, but it isn't even time consuming. It's, like I said, it's worth doing, because at the end of the day, if you send it into the booth centre, self-addressed, send it into the booth centre with the answer on it, and that is the answer this week, you could be in with winning a tenner. Same every week. Right, done a bit about that. Right, let's move on over to Richard in the riddle corner. I think we're coming to the end of these few that he did here, but don't you worry. I have prepared some more for him, and we will be going back to Richard to get some extra ones. But this, I can't remember if this is the penultimate or the last one of this section, but let's find out. I'm sure he will inform us.
How did you get on with yesterday's riddle, which seems really straightforward? How many months have 28 days? I guess you might be tempted to say, well, February. But in a way, that's not true, because sometimes every 4 years in a leap year, February has 29 days. It's a trick question. All months have 28 days, and some months have more, but all months have 28 days. Okay, today's riddle, and the last one for this series, I quite like this one. What word is spelt wrong in every dictionary? Quite straightforward when you know the answer.
I think I must be getting smarter, or just spending time listening to these riddles is probably making us all a bit more intuitive in the way that they structured him, isn't it? That's what it is. I'm getting used to his tricks and his twists and his use of words. But yeah, no, the first one, well, no, that was the February one, wasn't it? Yeah. All right, they've all got more than 28 days. I get it. Technically, all of these answers should say technically, because that's the way it is, isn't it? They're all technically true, but just not what your mind first assumes. Right, okay. Oh no, yeah, and he set, it was the last one, wasn't it? That he set for us.
In every dictionary.
Sorry, I had to go back and remind myself. I forgot, I got carried away with the other one. But yes, it's what is spelled wrong in every dictionary. Something. I'm not even gonna. I was trying to think of a good way of elaborating on that without giving it away, but I can't even do it. So, yeah, we'll leave that one. We'll leave that one in your hands, and you'll have to come back because we've got the answer for it next week. And then, so yes, I'll try and figure out how we're gonna splice the two riddle sections together next week. But that'll be fun, won't it? Something for me to do over the weekend. Alright, cool. So yeah, talking about something to do over the weekend, we've got some more interesting stuff from our activity pack. So, if you turn to, let me have a look, we've even got an index here, haven't we? If we turn to page 7, we've got Danny's and Phil's poetry slot. They've been doing the poetry for us, haven't they? This week, Danny did a couple of poems, I think it was in yesterday's episode, and he went through and told us what he'd written on this week's Sun theme. So you know what, I thought I'd have a go. Bit of more inspiration. It's like, if Danny and I can do it, then you guys can do it also. Oh yeah, and he's also the judge of the postcard, not of the postcard competition, of the poetry competition. So yeah, I'll read out the little blurb at the bottom so you know what's going on. So the winning poem, judged by Danny, each week will win a £10 cash prize. So get your pens out and your creative hats on and see what you can do. And remember to put your names on the poems if you want to enter the competition. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyway, here is what I did. So they've broken it down nicely and they've given us lots of inspiration so you can get started and things like that. It's not just like come up with a poem off the top of your head. There's lots of backbone and structure for it. So you've got an easy starting point for these things. So suggestion 1, obviously it's Sun Week, isn't it? So suggestion 1 is write 19 words about someone who brings sunshine into your life. So Danny did one yesterday. I think he mentioned his grandkids is what he mentioned. So I thought I'll be a bit more vague and see a bit more open to interpretation to the individual as to who I may be talking about. It was hard doing it in 19 words. That's the sort of good structure that these little sessions have. Is they'll just like throw out something like that. I think the next one it's 3 lines. And it's 6 words per line, but this one is just 19 words in total. So that's the only restrictions you've got. It's not very many words, and when you're trying to be accurate with your words, it makes you really use your words wisely. You can't just be throwing in ands and theirs and his and all that randomly. They're wasted space. You want powerful words. You want things like that that are going to catch people's imagination and descriptive words, things like that. So anyway. Mine's not full of all that, I've just filled it full of rubbish, but you know what, I can do as I say, not as I do. Anyway, here is what I did. So, when you walk into the garden and see her face, you know you have come to the right place. So that's a little one there from me. It's about someone from the Booth Centre, and the garden I'm referring to is the Booth Centre garden. So I'll read that one again, see if it makes any more sense to you. When you walk into the garden and see her face, you know you have come to the right place. That's alright, isn't it? So you may have noticed I stumble. I don't stumble, but it feels like there's words missing in the second line. And it is because I've had to cut words out to make it down to 19. So that's what makes it difficult. It would have been easy to just write a sentence. But no, they've given me a 19 word limit. So you're going to keep yourself within those boundaries, and that's what makes it a bit more unique. So yeah, I probably would have written, when you walk into the garden and you see her face, you know that I would have probably got a that in there. So I've taken out that. So what I should have written is, you know that you have come. Whereas what I have written is, you know you have come. So that's it. Cutting things out to make it down to their spec. Right, number 2. So suggestion number 2 was describe the sunlight in a flower, reflected in a window, reflected in water. And so they wanted 3 lines, and they want 6 words per line. So I don't know, I've just got a logical brain, and I don't see that as being like, oh, get creative and include all of those things together. I just saw it as a list of things that need doing. So I know I'm just really horrible and not creative in that sense. But here we go. So here's Tom's scientific way of answering poetry questions. So the first bit, they wanted 6 words to describe the sunlight reflected in a flower. So I said, the colours are more than amplified. Yeah, as the sunlight hits on a flower, yeah, it's going to make it look brighter. So I just said it's more than amplified. Amplified just means boosted, doesn't it? So the second one would be describe the sunlight reflected in a window. So I said, a reminder, it is within grasp. So I think that what I meant there was, if you're seeing it reflected in a window, it means you're not far away from it, and maybe it's just the window that's parting you from the outside. It's just a reminder that it's not far away. That's what that line's supposed to mean. And the third one, describe the sunlight reflected in water. So here I wrote, sunlight and water, truly nature's lifeblood. So what I thought there was just like what it made me feel like, or it said when you're describing the sunlight reflected in water, it made me think I was outside already, seeing it. So I thought I wanted to write something that would give me connotations or remind me of being outside and what it feels like. And so I thought, yeah, sunlight and water, truly nature's lifeblood. And yes, at the end of the day, it is as well. It's what all life thrives off, the sun and water, isn't it? All plants, all animals, all comes from sun and water, obviously. So yeah, there's mine anyway. So yeah, if I read them all together, I don't know if this is, yeah, I'm assuming this is the way it's supposed to be done. I answered it like three separate questions. But if I put them all together, it goes a bit like this. The colours are more than amplified. A reminder, it is within grasp. Sunlight and water, truly nature's lifeblood. I mean, it almost sounds like a proper poem, doesn't it? And I'm at the point with myself. Now, am I just not able to understand poetry properly and that might be an amazing piece of poetry? Or is there a lot more for me to learn and then I would know whether it's a good poem or not? Because at the moment, I just think poetry's supposed to be pretty words, is it? It's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? It's up to the individual whether you like it or not, I think. If it captures your imagination or gives a creative spark or something like that, then maybe it's a good poem. So yeah, let me know, guys. And I would love to hear some of yours. Make sure you send them into the Boo Centre, let Danny review them, and we'll send out a tenner to whoever he says is the best one that week. And it's going to be every week, so do your best. I hope some of you out there win. Anyway, thank you very much, Danny. For our final philosophical piece this week, we've gone back to the green room to see Richard, Luis and I, and this time, let me have a quick look in my book, see if I can find it. I keep flicking through this booklet like nothing else. It's been a fascinating one this week. I've had a really good time. There's lots of pages as well. I must have put it at the back here. I need to staple these in order and then I won't get lost. The same. Sorry. Yeah, so the third and final philosophical question, I got there in the end, is, do acts of kindness have a motive? Deep question, because yeah, you could say that some people only do kind things so they can get repaid, but a lot of people might not do that. So we discuss it here. So yeah, what do you guys think? Stick it in the comments what you think. Do acts of kindness have a motive? Hello there guys, we're back at the Boo Centre in the green room and we've got another philosophical question for you. The last one on our weekly list is, do acts of kindness have a motive? To the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all of them?
Yes, I think it depends on the way you interpret motive. Because it might not be a selfish motive, but it's something that calls your attention as a human being. Whether it's an injustice, someone who needs help, whatever. Something calls out to you and you either move and do something about it with an act of kindness, or you ignore it and walk away. It's your choice. But it's probably the best thing you can do for yourself.
I was thinking about that because I think when I do acts of kindness, I am thinking about the other person, but I'm also thinking about myself in the sense that I guess in a way, in a small way, it makes me feel good. Makes me feel better about myself if I, coming cycling in this morning, I was coming past Victoria Station, and there were two guys that looked as though they might be living on the street really, and I'd gone past them before I really thought about it. So I stopped on my bike and I went back and I said, "Oh guys, do you know about the Booth Centre? Have you heard about the Booth Centre?" And they said, "Oh yeah, actually that's where we're going today." But they didn't really seem very clear about exactly where it was. So I said, "Well, just follow me for a bit, and then we're almost going to be able to see the street you go down to get to the Booth Centre." So yeah, in a way, it was perhaps useful for them, but it made me think, well, actually, I've done an act of kindness today, and I've helped them a bit, and so it cheers me up in a way.
Yeah, but there was no financial motive or anything like that, other than just doing a good deed.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody else. You didn't need to go and tell that story. That could have been just your knowledge, couldn't it? So it wasn't really like you. So I don't think you were doing that for a personal gain, really.
only in that it made me feel that I'd helped somebody, and that's a nice feeling.
Yeah, because there's like an interesting concept about that is that you always have a choice to make in life. You can either be helpful or you can turn away. But it actually feels better as a human being to do good things than to do bad things. For yourself, you're going to feel better about yourself, even if you don't think about it, to go to bed with a clear conscience that you've done the right thing, rather than feeling bad about yourself.
I quite like that expression, random acts of kindness, you know, and so these are random because they're not thought out, they're not planned. Like a friend of mine took her 2 children to the park near us a couple of days ago, and didn't take any money with her because she was just going to the park and there's nothing to buy in the park these days. But on this occasion it just so happened that there was an ice cream van there that used to come before lockdown, but she didn't have any money. And so she was talking to somebody a few minutes later, and this person said something about, oh, it's great to see the ice cream van back. And my friend said, oh yeah, but I didn't bring any money with me. And this other person then just took £5 note out of my pocket and said, and put it down on the bench where they were sitting. So there you are.
That's good. That's a nice gesture.
Same thing happened to me on the bus. I didn't. I had a voucher, and I went into the bus. It was the only bus. I'd been waiting for half an hour, and I said, "Here's the voucher." And the bus driver said, "No. You have to have a plastic card with you." And I said, "I don't have a plastic card." He goes, "Well, you have to buy one for £1.40 or something." And I said, "I don't have the money. I have the voucher." And he said, "Well, you can't use the voucher without the card."
Oh.
So a lady behind me said, "I've got £1.50, I will pay for the gentleman." And the bus driver was so ashamed that he said, "Oh, don't worry about the card, I'll accept the voucher," and just moved me along because the lady made him feel so bad. So that's great.
So he could have done an act of kindness, couldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it wouldn't have cost him anything.
Yes, and it took the lady behind him to show him the way and make him feel ashamed.
It's nice to know there's people out there that like that lady.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a nice thought.
I like that idea. You've always got a choice, because it is a split-second decision, isn't it? There I am on my bike. You know, I'm rushing a bit because I'm a bit late, but actually it doesn't take. It takes half a minute, and then you make that contact with other people. Because if you don't, you just go on by.
Yeah, I think an act of kindness in this sort of state can just be as much as a nod in the street or a hello. You know, acknowledging people, things like that. It's like you said, just that bit of interaction with somebody can just be the difference to somebody's day, can't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
So I think there's lots of acts of kindness out there that aren't for personal gain. But yeah, just got to find the right people, isn't it? They're out there. There's lots of them. There's plenty of them here in the booth centre.
Yeah. And they always seem, for me, in my experience in my life, they always seem to appear out of nowhere when you least expect it, and from the person you probably least expect it. You know, that's what's really strange. Sometimes the people you think you can count on are the ones that fail you, and the ones that you would never think would help you are the ones that come out of the woods to do something for you. And that's like really refreshing thing about life, is having those wonderful surprises about people.
Do you guys think that, you know, there's a multiplier involved here, so that if say the three of us do something kind, then that kind of, there's a bit of a snowball effect, that, you know, the more people that are doing acts of kindness, then the more people, and it kind of grows and grows.
Yes,
it's like a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
If we all just return into ourselves and say, "Sod you, I'm okay, Jack," then the opposite happens. Things get reduced all the time.
It's like the clapping for the NHS, you know, and just the Captain Thom thing, you know. It's just one person has a kind idea and everybody joins in.
Well, a lot of people were inspired by his act of kindness, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then did things of their own.
Yeah, so I think, everybody doing more random acts of kindness, the world would be a better place.
Definitely.
With a lot of these things.
And we can all do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost.
No.
Any of these little things, apart from that £1.50. Yeah. But doesn't have to cost.
No.
It can just be a gesture like guiding someone the right way.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Just a smile works. If you're going around with the coronavirus at the moment, and you see people on the streets, and you see people quite scared, if you smile at them and they smile back, it just makes them feel better. Doesn't it? It takes the edge off.
It just it makes me feel like we're all in it together.
Yeah.
You might be a stranger in the street, but I don't know what you're going to an extent.
Absolutely.
Then you probably understand what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Because we're all in it together. But yeah, thank you very much, boys.
Okay.
It's been a good little few sessions we've had there. So yeah, hopefully we'll get to do it again another time. But yeah, for now, back to Thom in the studio.
Thank you, Thom.
Thanks, Thom. Thanks, Luis.
Thank you, Richard.
Yes. Cheers, lads. So I hope that's cleared up a few bits of whether kindness has a motive or not. What do you think? Do people do it for personal gain? I don't think they do. I think there's a lot of nice people out there looking out for people, looking out for everybody. It's a human thing to do at the end of the day. We would not be successful if we were all isolated. Well, yes, literally isolated, but like cut ourselves off from each other. It didn't help. There was no kindness in the world. We wouldn't get anywhere, would we? No, we wouldn't. We need positive and friendly, nice, kind people in this world. Okay then. There's plenty at the booth centre, isn't there? We all know that. Right, okay, so what else do we have at the booth centre? As well as plenty of kind people, we also have music on the regular. One of my favourite bits. So yeah, let's have a jump over. I've dug around and I've got two songs from the booth centre book today. I've got one from ABBA, and I also have Chubby Checker. From back in the day, little bit before my time, these guys, but doesn't mean I don't know the words. So let's have a look. Got a gentleman on a piano. I love it when somebody comes in on a piano. So yeah, this one is by a guy called Skip Brevis, and he's covered Let's Twist Again by Chubby Checker. So let's just jump in. I'll put it in my headphones instead of my speakers. People not end songs like that anymore. It was like pure just like drama. Whoa, it's the amazing end of a song. People don't make proper music like that anymore, do they? Now it's all computers. Sound like a grumpy old man, don't I? Anyway, here's some proper musicians playing some proper instruments for you now, guys. We've got a couple of guys. One on a guitar and one on a banjo, and the combination here, it's a treat, let me tell you that. So yeah, we've got Mamma Mia by ABBA. So let's see how these gents...
3, 4. Ah, shit. 2, 3.
Little bit of a fluff start there. I've been cheated by you since I don't know when. So I've made up my mind, it must come to an end. Look at me now, will I ever learn? Do I know how? Then I suddenly lose control. There's a fire within my soul. Just one look and I can hear it ring ring. One more look and I forget everything. Whoa, whoa, mamma mia, here I go again. Mama, how can I resist you? Mamma mia, does it show again? Mama, just how much I missed you. Yes, I've been broken hearted, blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia, now I really know. Mama, I could never let you go. I love the guitar and banjo combo. I've been angry and sad by things that you do. I can't count all the times I told you we're through. And when you go, when you slam the door, I think you know that you won't be away too long. You know that I'm not that strong. Just one look and I can hear a bell ring. One more look and I forget everything. Whoa, whoa, mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist you? Mamma mia, does it show again? My, just how much I missed you. Yes, I've been broken hearted, blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia, now I really know. My, I could never let you go. Mamma mia, even if I say, my, leave me now or never. Mamma mia, it's a game we play. Bye, doesn't mean forever. Mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist you? Mamma mia, does it show again? My, just how much I missed you. Yes, I've been broken hearted, blue since the day we parted. Why did I ever let you go? Mamma mia, now I really know. My, I could never let you go. Yeah, boys. That little banjo gives it such a good country little, but little country swing. Ah, good one, lads. Thank you very much. Oh, men, loved that one. Mamma Mia by ABBA. Yeah, classic. I love the rhymings in there. The rhymes and the structure and the flow of the way they deliver those words in that song. Really, really well thought out. Proper tune, that one, wasn't it? Okay, I think that it's time for the end for this week. It's been a lovely week. The Song Week has been a great week. We've had lots of inspiration, we've had lots of riddles, we've had lots of philosophy, we've had a bit of exercise, and if there's anything else that I've missed, we'll have to come back to it next week, won't we? I think next week we've got some poetry from Phil. So we've been getting it all from Dan these last few days, haven't we? So Phil from Arthur and Martha, he is sending over a video. He's got some poetry inspiration for us as well, so next week we'll be looking at that. Also, like I said, yes, it's Bird Week, so get looking out your windows, get looking out when you're on your daily walk, see what birds you can see around, because I think we might even be continuing something similar to, I just dropped everything, to the birds that we started looking at last week. This week I went out, didn't I? And I had a look at some birds in my local area, see what we could catch. So Boo Centre have actually created a list of their own so we could go out and find some. So we've got that to look forward to next week as well. Right, banging. Well, have a lovely bank holiday. Don't forget, all of these videos online straight after we've uploaded them, so they're on all the time, so you can watch them whenever you want. They're also on YouTube, so if you've got any mates who can't access Facebook or don't have a Facebook account for any reason, then it's on YouTube and you don't need any sort of account to view them on that. Just go connecting through activities into YouTube, and with the first hit, you'll see a big picture of my cheesy face doing that. So get your mates on it as well. It's out there. We're spreading the love. So yeah, these activity packs will be with you next week, hopefully. But until then, stay safe, keep busy, wash your hands. I've been Tom.